Hello, and welcome to the Postal Code Unknown podcast for Saturday, July 8th of 2017. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. You'll see today that I'm wearing a shirt that features Link from The Legend of Zelda. This isn't today's focus, but I thought that it would be appropriate given the topic. I have to share with you guys, you may have been seeing it in the wall in the background in previous videos, but this is a Legend of Zelda bag that I picked up from the Nintendo World Store in New York City, New York. I actually went out there last year just as I had been considering this career change to video game development, something that I'm still working on this summer and I will be going to school for in the coming year. But I went out, told myself, okay, so I need to make sure that this is something I want to do. This is something that I'm passionate about, but I don't know what game development is like, at least not in an aspect that I have done since I was a little kid. I used to play around a little bit with BASIC and HyperCard to make little adventure gamey type things. There's a programming language called ZZT, which used to make little adventure games and those kinds of things, but they weren't really anything more than little trials, little ways for me to have fun with computers when I was a younger kid. And now that I'm approaching, or at least doing my best to find a way to express myself through an interactive medium of that type, I really wanted to go to what's called a game jam. And a game jam is basically, over a short period of time, people collaborate together to make small games. So this was part of what's called the Global Game Jam, where several, hundreds of different pop-up sites compete or sort of collaborate to create projects. And in this case, I was subscribed to the newsletter for a group that I support called the Code Liberation Foundation. If you have more questions about that, I'll definitely put a link in the show notes. It's something that I think is really incredible. They're a group that's focused on supporting women and non-binary individuals that are interested in programming and learning to program. And I think that as the industry itself, from an outsider's perspective, but also through statistics, is something that is definitely male-dominated. And even though I am trying very hard to enter this industry because it's something that I'm passionate and care about, I do want to inspire and encourage people who aren't male to go for it, to have your drive and to explore it, because I think that that's only going to be better for everybody, just to have more voices available to be able to share more things. And that's one of the most incredible things about video games or interactive medium in general that I think is inspiring. So this game jam that I went out to New York, went to the Nintendo World Store to sort of get a computer bag because I didn't really bring a whole lot with me. Unfortunately, just sort of made this trip very last minute. And the Nintendo World Store itself was really cool. It's definitely worth a visit if you're near Times Square in New York and you're a big game fan and you're a fan of Nintendo and you want to see some cool archival equipment. They've got a lot of historical pieces of Nintendo hardware, some really cool, unique stuff. That bag I definitely got, just because I thought it was really cool and it was really nice to have. And it's, again, another way for me to sort of share the things that I'm passionate about, express them in sort of like a clothing type way. So that was really cool. That's definitely worth a visit. New York is a great city. I really wish that I could spend more time there. Maybe someday it's a place that I could move. It's definitely on my list of places that I'd love to maybe go back to for a longer period of time at some point in my life. And so I've sort of gotten way super sidetracked here, but to go back to the game jam, just because it is something that I want to sort of discuss in a little bit more detail, it was a cool experience. It was very eye-opening in a big kind of way, and sort of like for people that aren't part of game development or who sort of like follow me from a travel perspective and are curious as to why this experience was important or impactful. I think it was sort of like the collaborative nature of these projects that I think are so important and inspiring. The reason being is it's like if you wanted to, I'm sure if you're capable and were able to, I'm sure you'd be able to produce something short by yourself in a couple of days. But that's not the point. And again, I went to this event specifically because they had classes and workshops and a lot of information for somebody who hasn't been a part of this process, for 20 years, and really just needed a starting point to sort of give myself not only sort of like a personal validation, hey, this is what I want to do, but also sort of from a standpoint where, those skills are necessary. And like seeing this type of thing come together was spectacular. So we made this game. It was completely broken. Again, this is a couple of days. This is the first time I've done this. I was on a team that I sort of walked around and sort of met some people. We were mostly the first time that we had ever made a game. And we had one veteran with us. And we made a game called Tiptoe. It was about this monster that, if you think about monsters, like they're out and they're going to destroy the city. And they're out and they're rah, 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 rah. But our monster was just trying to get home. So the idea was basically to tiptoe, which was the name of the game, tiptoe through the city at night without waking everybody up and get home before sunrise. And I think the premise of that was really cool and something that maybe I'd like to explore further with a little bit more time and a little bit more experience, just because it was fun. It was just a neat little idea and a fun kind of thing. I met some really cool people, and I encourage you, if you're out there thinking about game development, give it a shot. These happen quite frequently, and they're a good way to learn, especially if you've got no experience and you want to see what the development process is like within a short period of time. So I hope that inspires you to sort of maybe consider going into game development as maybe an allegory to other ways of expressing yourself, not just YouTube videos or writing or videos, or there's all kinds of really fantastic tools available for creating new things, and I think that that's one of the most exciting things about being alive right now. So without further ado, I'm going to keep rambling if I don't shut up. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more of what I've been doing outside of these videos, you can see more at theradicaldreamer.com, where I've got articles and photographs with travel advice and stories that aren't just in a video format. You can follow me on Twitter at @OneRadicalDreamer or on Instagram at @aradicaldreamer if that's something that you're more interested in. If you're interested in supporting me, I do have a Patreon page up as well, which you can find at patreon.com/TheRadicalDreamer. And that's a way for as little as $1 a month you can help support me get better equipment and do more videos of this type and make a whole bunch more cool stuff to share with you in the future. And last but not least, if you like what you've been seeing on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and send a couple comments. I'd be happy to answer more questions in future episodes of the podcast. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Take care.